Suggs is beloved as the frontman of Madness, who of course continue to this day, but he's also currently on the telly, where he's back with Series 2 of World War II Treasure Hunters on History. Now, this is the series where Suggsy and renowned World War II detectorist Stephen Taylor, that's easy for you to say, go to military sites around the UK and Europe, uncovering items that serve as reminders of what happened nearly 80 years ago. Suggsy's here, look everybody. How did you get involved in this then, Suggs?
I was getting more and more interested in history. I mean, I liked history at school, but unfortunately school didn't like me, or the other way round. So I came to these things later in life, and I did a few programmes about the history of London. It's just bizarre that then I ended up doing this programme that was we need somebody to talk about the restoration of Victorian steam engines. Oh, I know, the Singer of Madness, of course, it's obvious. But I found myself a little niche. And the first show about the Second World War is on tonight. It's one of those things you think you know everything about the Second World War, but there's always stuff to discover. And it's about Hull. It's the whole Blitz. I mean, I knew about the London Blitz. I even knew about Coventry a bit. But you think everything was having to come from the Atlantic at this point. Because, of course, obviously, we were getting nothing across the Channel. Yeah, these are obvious things. I think, why not? Well, because it was occupied.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was a small matter of that.
That would be it.
So the Germans were very determined to bomb Hull. Like 95% of the buildings in Hull got bombed.
What's to find there? I mean, give me an example of the kind of things that you would find that would be meaningful.
Well, for instance, we found dog tags. Now, I've got these detectors. I try and avoid saying the word myself.
Don't blame you.
And, they're very excited about finding guns and bombs and all the bigger stuff. We found a tank one time. We found aeroplane parts. But dog tag, you look at this guy's name. It was this guy from Italy. Probably only just made it to New York and then suddenly got called up. And he's back in Europe. And it's some 17, 18-year-old kid. And you can trace that family back. We know the scale of war. We know the amount of people who died. We know, these enormous battles. But it is finding an individual story that tells you sometimes more about what life was like. I mean, we've done one about GIs, which is very interesting. I didn't realise something like 150,000 American GIs were in Cornwall. And they'd just march up to a house and say, right, we're living in your house.
Yeah.
But we met this guy who was a kid when the 4 Americans arrived at his mum's house. And he said, of course, everyone in the village wants to know you've got these cool Yanks around your house with their chewing gum and their stockings. Of course, all the girls are coming round. That incredible thing where this village will suddenly be occupied by all these strange people. And then one night they're all gone.
The series also includes a visit to Dunkirk, the discovery of parts of a Spitfire in Belgium, and a look at the history of Wiedenbeck, top-secret arms supply depot.
I've seen you getting in a Spitfire in one of the trailers. I'm not the only person to be envious.
Now, we have this joke, because my mate Stephen, who's the expert, the detectorist, he's constantly down at the bottom of big holes while I'm driving tanks and flying Spitfire. I always give him a quick call just before I get in.
Yeah.
How is it down that hole?
Yeah.
And
you go down the hole, I'll just fly this thing.
I'll do all the work.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Let me just go off on a tangent and talk about Madness for a second. I mean, there you are in 78, 79, something like that.
Terrifying amount of time.
Really. So there you are, and you're doing a little bit of ska, you're doing a little bit of punk, you're doing a bit of this, and then you become wildly popular for the next 3-4 decades. Did you expect that?
Not at all. No. I mean, it's a cliche. I mean, you hear the footballers saying one game at a time. But it is similar. You get a gig, you think, well, if nothing else, this is great. We've got a residency every Friday night in our local pub. You make a record. I found a photograph recently of all of us at Archway Roundabout holding our first record with traffic cones on our heads. Gone out of fashion, I think, now.
On your way home.
You know what I mean?
So,
Anyway.
but that's what you had and have. Madness because you are mad. The stuff that you've done. I always cite that when I was introducing you on something or other. It was on telly, and you came in swinging on ropes. And I'm thinking, how could you possibly sing? But you did.
I spent like 20 years going, why is no one taking this more seriously? These are proper songs, these are. Would you mind dressing up as the Foreign Legion? Now, go on then. We were very fortunate that the video had just started. We were all extroverts, 7 people in the band, all fighting for the limelight. So the costumes got more extreme to the point people like Leo, saxophone player, dressed up as an exploding traffic warden. And I thought, well, there's no topping that. He's definitely getting a couple of scenes.
He seemed to do a lot of flying as well.
He wasn't unhappy to dress as butterflies, birds. Yeah. I do believe some of the reason why we resonate is that we were having fun making those things. You hear it in the records. I think you see it. I mean, we get a lot of kids coming to see us now who just see those funny old videos, and to them, they're the best kind of kids' TV there is.
OK, here we go. The Sound of Madness Arena Tour 2018. Thursday, 6th of December, this is, Leeds Arena, and then on to Manchester Arena and then Newcastle Arena. That's Saturday 8th. Before that, Manchester is the 7th, then on to Plymouth and Bournemouth and Nottingham and London, the O2, and Birmingham Arena and Glasgow and Hull and Reading and Cardiff, rounding off in Brighton at the Brighton Centre on Saturday the 22nd. And you can see Suggs presenting World War II Treasure Hunters, which continues on History at 9 p.m. tonight. Good to see you. See you before Christmas, no, Doug. It's Suggsy!
Thank you.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Tim.